Hey gang, thanks everybody for joining me for 5 and now 6 installments of Untruth and Consequences. I had a lot of fun, reliving some of these memories, and I hope it was enjoyable for you as well. I think it's a real good idea periodically to take stock of your life. And that may mean looking, 10 years back or 10 minutes back. Just, looking at examining your motivation, your behavior, beliefs, all those things, and just weighing them, and this is a uniquely human capacity that we have. So far as we know, we're the only creatures on the planet that can do this. Dolphins are supposed to be pretty smart critters, but I think had they this capacity, they wouldn't keep ending up in tuna nets the way they do. And so if I could draw, there's many morals I can draw from the stories I've related to you, but if I had to choose one that was most important to me, it would be this. Be happy. I was struck by, some of the comments on Untruth and Consequences. I mean, they were very kind comments, all of them. But some of them dealt with the notion of the pain of these memories. And one thing I've tried to establish through this series is that these memories aren't really that painful for me. I've seen how this movie ends, and the good guy rides off into the sunset with the girl. So there's not a lot of pain associated with them. There was obviously some pain associated with the original, when I went through them, particularly with getting kicked out of school. Having to call my mom and tell her that I'd been kicked out of school. Well, that sucked. That's about the best way to put that. But even at the time, these events, while they were painful, I don't think they're as painful as most people seem to think. And the reason for that is that I've always been a pretty happy dude. And that gave me the ability to see these events, as I see so many events in my life, good and bad, as stops along the way, speed bumps, things I had to get through. And maybe, and I seriously thought this at the time, things that I might learn from and that I might laugh about someday, and I do. So I would tell people, I would remind people, because I think there's a misconception about happiness, that I think people tie happiness to their mood, so that if one day they're in a, not feeling good or just down, they feel like a failure. And that's not happiness. Happiness isn't a mood, but more of a state of being, I guess. For me, it provided a foundation to view these events for what they were, just events, not anything that had the power to define me or in any way, change my fate. And people don't always understand that the happy people have bad days, and happy people go through things. And in fact, happy people, have to deal with as much crap as unhappy people. They're just not little bitches about it. So if I could leave you with this, I think you do have the ability, very powerful ability, to contextualize your own life, to choose how you see the way things are. And I think that's not just, an ability you have, but to some degree, as a human being, I think it's your duty to exercise that. So, since so much of how we see life is choice, why not choose to be happy?